All right, welcome back. We've got our Parmesan crusted chicken in the oven, and now it's time to get started on our Brussels sprout cheese crisps. Now, this is something that I've been making for a little while. I love it because it's fast, it's easy, it's definitely delicious, and it also, like a lot of things, recipes I talk about, you can mix up flavor profiles. But the one I'm going to go with today is going to be using some of this lemon garlic butter seasoning. And here we go. So I've chopped up most of the Brussels sprouts already. For this dish, all you want to do is take, a whole Brussels sprout once you've washed it, and then just above the bottom of the stem, cut it. You'll usually lose a couple leaves off it, and then just turn it and cut it lengthwise right down the middle, and drop it into your bowl there. So out of each Brussels sprout, you're going to end up with 2 of these cheese crisps. So little Brussels sprout goes a long way in this type of dish, and it's definitely a crowd pleaser. So right there, I've got 10 Brussels sprouts cut in half, so I'll have 20 bites. Next thing I want to do is a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of my Kinder's The Blend, which is sea salt, pepper, and garlic, and then this lemon butter garlic seasoning from Kinder's as well. It just goes really well with this, with the Brussels sprouts and the cheese and everything. So just kind of lightly toss that, lightly coat it, and those are pretty much ready to go. So I'll move that to the front there. I'll move my pan up here so we can see well. And all you need to do, this here is a blend of cheddar jack, and a few different cheeses. Use whatever kind you want. A lot of people do this with just a straight Parmesan. I do that sometimes, but I've also found that more cheese, right? Just mix it up. So we're just going to make some little piles on the tray here. Let's spread that around. And what's going to happen is when we put these Brussels sprouts on top, the cheese is going to melt down and kind of almost grab it and turn it into just like a cheesy potato chip, if you will. So when you might not think that you're putting too much cheese down, but it really doesn't take much. So I'm just going to kind of scatter that around. And now all I want to do is just come back to my Brussels sprouts and just take them and put them on the flat side down right into the cheese. And you don't have to, there's not really a way to press it down, but I just kind of give it a little nudge when I put it down there. Just set them on. It's really quick. These are going to go into the oven, and as I said, when the cheese grabs onto them, and I pull these things out in a little bit, you're going to see it's beautiful. Some people call them, someone at a party that I was catering recently called it a Brussels sprout fried egg. When I pull them out in a little bit, we'll take a look at it together and see if you agree. One thing I do know is that they're delicious, and they are a regular request at the events and parties that I've been catering. All right, there's the last one. We'll put that in there, and that's it. So I'm going to throw these in the oven at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. I'll take a look at them. By then, I'll see where the cheese is. But that's it. I'll see you back in a few minutes. All right, welcome back. We've got everything out of the oven. It's time for me to show you what we did, plate it up, and talk about it as we wrap on out of here. First of all, right out of the oven, I think I mentioned earlier, someone called them like a Brussels sprout fried egg. So this is what they are. As I mentioned, the Brussels sprout just kind of sinks in, the cheese wraps around it, and it just becomes a cheese crisp, right? And so these are fantastic at parties, for a game, for a Saturday at 11 a.m. just because they're that delicious. They're good for whenever. Oh, bonus one, look at that, there's 2. Someone's getting 2, there we go. And so you can see they just kind of break up right off of the parchment paper here. Take my spoons, scoop it underneath, it's like this. And there it is. These are Brussels sprout cheese crisps. Once I get them on my plate, what I like to do to kind of finish them off is take some of my balsamic reduction. And this just gives it that last little bit of tang. This has been reduced on the stove. About a half a cup, reduces all the way down to a few tablespoons. You just put it on real low and just let it go. And see, it just comes out like a drizzle, just like that. And you can just kind of sprinkle that all around. So you get little bits of balsamic reduction throughout your various bites. It just adds to something. I started doing it not long ago, and it's the only way I eat them now. So there it is. Those are my Brussels sprout cheese crisps.